We believe that on their day, playing well, any one of the four teams can beat each other, but that home advantage in the semi-finals is of critical importance and perhaps should be used by Wigan against Warrington, who are suffering somewhat with injuries at this time. On the other hand, as Eddie said, Wigan have beaten Leeds 2 times out of 3 this year, and with home advantage we might feel confidence. Neutrals generally in the main think Wigan against Warrington would make the best and most apt grand final, particularly since St Helens and Leeds have had more than their fair share over the last few years by their success in grand finals. So Wigan choose, not surprisingly, Leeds as their opponents in next week's semi-final to allow the best chance of that happening.
I don't think it was inevitable. I think they would have had to consider the merits of Warrington and where they are at, and then us. You can only choose 2 teams, so you know it's a 50-50 chance, and you know it is headlines. It's big headlines if they don't choose us and we're the lowest ranked qualifiers. But at the same time, I don't think it was quite just draw it out the hat. That's who we're always going to choose.
We give it a bit of thought, but a few weeks ago, myself, Ian, and Rads, when we realised that it was our choice to make, then we decided we're going to go for the lowest ranked team. But I do think at this stage of the competition, no matter who you pick, it's going to be a tough game. You know, Warrington, St Helens, they're all quality teams, as are we. So it's you can't win. You know, people might agree with what we've done, and you know we decided to go with the lowest ranked team, which are Leeds. But we're not under any illusions. This week's a tough game. They beat us in the semi-final of the cup, and you know we're still hurting from that game as well. So you know I'll be preparing my team, you know, to make sure that we're 100% at our best this Friday.
They're a fantastic team, Wigan. They've been the most consistent team this year, and for us to beat them at Wigan on Friday night, we'll have to come up with our best performance this year. Now, I've said that a couple of times in the playoffs, and each one's been true. To progress through against Catalans, we had to come up with our best performance, you know, this year, and arguably it was. And I think we'll have to go up another couple of notches, a few notches in fact, to try and compete and beat Wigan on Friday night.
We've had Thomas back and Pat Richards back for a few weeks now, and they're getting better and better. So this week off has done us a world of good. You know, we've had a real good week training. We had a few days in the lakes, and then tomorrow is full on preparation for the Leeds game. So you know, I'm happy where we're at. You know, I'm really confident, and if we can play anything like, you know, we can beat anybody.
As for us, it's another game, and past performances will count for very little going into this match. And you know, whilst I'll say that last night's performance, I think gives us a nice little bit of toughness. It was a good playoff performance, and one that will prepare us well for this week, I think, and that's the way it'll be. I think it'll be a tough playoff match come Saturday night at Langtree.
Obviously, you've already been over to their place earlier in the playoff series and beaten them. Does that give you a psychological advantage, knowing that you've gone to their place and turned them over, and now you're bringing them back to yours?
It helps. But it doesn't give you an advantage on the day, because it's still 17 players going knocking lumps out of 17 players, and you need to be on your very best game. And they've got nothing to lose, like we've got nothing to lose, so they're not going to hold anything back, whether that be players or plays or risks to take. Because at the end of the day, if you don't give it your A game and you don't play 100%, then you're not going to make a final, and there's no point having regrets.
If you start looking at it being 80 minutes away, then it could be another 12 months away. You know what I mean? You just got to focus on the job at hand and do what's right, and you know, you got to focus on being what you're good at, and that's been our philosophy throughout the year, and it's not going to change this week.
No point in thinking about what's going on the 6th of October if you sat at home watching 2 other teams play. So first and foremost, we have to win a game on Saturday night before we can even talk about a grand final. You know, we need to play against a very good Warrington side, and we need to come out on the other end having gained a victory to even look any further on.
Which is where I guess the sport really gets its window now. You know, 4 great big names in rugby league, 2 massive ties, and all going for that trophy at Old Trafford. It's mouth-watering prospect these next couple of weeks, isn't it?
Absolutely. I think the game on Friday night between us and Wigan, I'm preempting one of the biggest games of the year. It's going to be a huge game, and I know Saints and Warrington is something I'm looking forward to watching as well. So whoever gets through to the grand final, they'll do it there. They will have earned the right to be there.